You are lying in a bed that isn't yours, staring at a ceiling you don't recognize, and despite being exhausted, your brain has just decided that tonight, it isn't a sleeper, it's a guard. You are experiencing the Sentinel Effect, an ancient survival program that treats a modern hotel room like a cave without a fire, and you like the only thing standing between your family and the dark. The truth is stranger than it sounds. Everything you know about the world arrives as raw signals that your brain turns into a picture, and for 99.9% of human history, that picture was painted in total darkness. For over 300,000 years, every single one of your ancestors spent roughly half their life in a world where they couldn't see their own hand in front of their face. In that world, the night was not a time for rest. It was a time for becoming food. Our eyes are terrible in the dark compared to the leopards, hyenas, and wolves that can see just fine. To survive, we didn't just need shelter, we needed a barrier of light. The discovery of fire didn't just keep us warm, it completely restructured the human day. A campfire created a circle of safety roughly 30 feet in diameter. Inside that circle you lived, outside that circle you died. Anthropologists have documented that even today, people in hunter-gatherer groups who wander away from the fire at night are significantly more likely to be killed by predators. This is why, when you step into a new environment, your ancient software kicks in. It doesn't see a hotel room with a deadbolt, it sees a cave without a fire. When you are in a familiar environment, your brain can afford to flip the switch and go dark. But in a new location, your ancient software refuses to fully disarm. You are experiencing an evolutionary mismatch. While we have invented vaccines, refrigeration, and indoor plumbing to extend our lives, we still inhabit the same nervous systems that evolved on the savannah. We are essentially walking around in a prototype body that never got its final update for the modern world. This vigilance is tied to a rhythm of rest that we have almost entirely forgotten. Before the industrial age, humans did not sleep in one continuous 8-hour block. They went to bed shortly after sunset, slept for about 4 hours, and then woke up for a period of quiet wakefulness called the watch. During these quiet hours between first sleep and second sleep, the mind was calm and reflective. This was a distinct state of consciousness where people visited neighbors, interpreted dreams, or simply lay in the dark and thought. In a new place, however, that watch becomes a sentinel mode. One hemisphere of your brain remains more alert than the other, scanning for sounds that don't belong. This was a survival tool. In the ancient world, being wrong about whether someone was watching you could get you killed. Your brain learned to assume the worst because, for tens of thousands of years, standing out meant danger. Our ancestors were so terrified of what lived in the night that they developed rituals to keep the dead from returning. The Vikings were so afraid that if a body left through the front door, it would remember the way back, so they would smash a hole in the wall, shove the body through, and seal it shut behind them. They believed in the Draugr, the actual, swollen, rotting corpse that could climb out of a grave and smash its way into a house. You might think you've outgrown that superstition, but your body remembers. You still experience the Mara, the creature that sits on your chest and crushes the breath out of you with terrible dreams. We call it sleep paralysis today, but for a Viking or an ancient hunter, it was proof that the dark was occupied. When you sleep in a new place, your brain refuses to fully flip the switch. It is anchored to its own vivid experience of self-awareness, convinced that because the environment is unfamiliar, every sound is a threat. This is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do in a world that no longer exists, protecting you from a tribe of predators that isn't watching and a danger that isn't coming. We've traded the Milky Way and the meditative silence of the watch for street lamps and electric bulbs. We flooded the night with light and thought it was progress, but we only succeeded in suppressing our melatonin and fragmenting our sleep. Your brain interprets a light bulb at 11 p.m. as the sun, delaying the signals that help you rest. We are the survivors of 300,000 years of people who were smart enough to be afraid of the dark. In a small tribe, your reputation was a survival tool. If you were seen as weak or strange, you could be pushed away from the fire. This deep-seated fear of social judgment and physical predation is why you can't turn your mind off when the walls around you are new. You are still running a 3 million-year-old program designed to keep you alive until sunrise. The next time you wake up at 2 a.m. in a strange room, don't think of it as a disorder. Think of it as your body remembering what it was built to do. You are the living record of a lineage that never let its guard down. Understanding your ancient wiring is the first step to finally switching it off. If you found this insight into the human mind valuable, subscribe and turn on the bell. It helps me keep the lights on for the next story.